Hi everyone, my name is Christel Rosenkilde Christensen and I'm talking to you here on International Women's Day. I want to bring you a message of speaking up your truth. And here I'm talking about women all over the world. I'm not asking anybody to risk their lives to step up and speak, but I ask you to speak as freely as you can. I want you to think as free as you possibly want to. I want you to choose so that you keep yourself safe but make a difference. And I want you to act so that you make the changes that you're capable of no matter where you are. And that brings a great responsibility for women throughout the world. Because it's micro changes throughout the world that can make a ripple effect bigger than we dare to imagine. So there's nobody on this earth, there is no woman on this planet who can say that her thoughts or her choices or actions won't matter, or her life will be threatened by stepping forward, or it doesn't matter anyways, because it does. Want to say it again, I'm not asking anybody to risk their lives. I'm asking us to do what we can with who we are, where we live in the world. Because everybody who is listening, and including the men, please don't turn off before you hear more. We have a beautiful and abundant planet with now 8 billion people. And if we look at it purely from resources perspective, we have 50% male, 50% women who are here that can make a difference and who can create exceptional results, get new ideas and make a difference in this world. So we need to step in as a leader. You need to understand that even in the free world where we are talking about equality in the workplace or in any institution where we are meant to work equally, we need to understand that we have just been through 2000 years where men have been building institutions, organizations and companies and making them grow, and it did work while we were still in the industrial age where women could stay home and the men could go to work. But now we're entering a more complex world where we cannot just use half of the resources or half of the way of thinking and behaving. Now we need to integrate and apply both ways of thinking, choosing and acting, because that's the only way that we move forward without now destroying and tipping a balance of human and planetary resources, but also with the AI complexity and development. There's a complete new way of thinking of ethics and morals and how we go about developing our society with these new resources at play. And so we need to speak up with our ideas and our concerns, and we need to listen to one another. And unfortunately, there has been a big, there's been a massive influence of our way of criticizing one another online, because we are so far from each other. So it's easy to just criticize or speak badly about one another. And now it's time to uplift one another and look at the good ideas, looking at who has something constructive to say about how we move forward, all 8 billion together, and uplift the lives of all 8 billion people. Because what some people fail to understand is that we are only as safe as the weakest people on this planet. And I'm not calling people weak as in they don't have the resources, but who are allowed to apply their resources. And we have, on Women's International Day, it's important to talk about that we have countries in the world that are suppressing their women to the extent that they're not allowed to leave their home and express their womanhood. They're not allowed to be a part of the society, studying, working, or contributing equally with men. And we have, in the more free world, when we talk about women, we still have an unequal paycheck. We still wear the same seat belts that we did decades ago that are made for male bodies. So we have, we have a massive challenge ahead of us to keep women safe. And talking from a resource perspective, keep women safe so they can contribute, so they can serve, so they can truly help to create a better world for future generations. And from a caring perspective, women are giving birth to the future generation. I gave birth 5 years ago, and I'm a sole provider, and I have truly experienced what it means to give everything I have to my child, to use up all my energy to be the best I can for the home environment. And yet still I'm a sole provider, so I need to be in this world earning money as much as my mission in this world, my passion is to uplift people, to show people how much they matter. And in the capacity of executive advisor and top performance expert, that is my gift to the world. And being an ambassador for conscious leadership, I am daily inspiring thought leaders and uplifting visionaries, leaders in more than 30 countries, giving them the ability to create well-being not just for themselves but in their organizations, whilst creating the best possible results, finding innovative ideas so that they can create the very best, not just for the bottom line but also for a better world. And when I look at all of my clients throughout the world, one thing that happens when exhaustion is being exchanged by peace and well-being, compassion shines through. And they're able to include everybody instead of excluding because they're exhausted and tired, but suddenly they get the energy to not only survive, but to thrive and to open up to intuitive ideas that comes from within, comes from our soul wisdom, the reason why we're here. And the more energy they get and the more awareness and the more conscious they become, they cannot help but to create sustainable ways to enhance life, enhancing strategies, creating new visions that truly are here to create a better world for future generations. So imagine if we start demanding that our leaders, no matter what capacity, that they make an effort to become balanced human beings so that they can connect to that compassionate energy within, to that soul wisdom that can only make decisions that enhance life and that uplifts people and create and tap into energies that are truly making a positive difference for future generations. None of the people I have been working with allow for women to be suppressed. None of the clients that I work with see people have different value. They know that each individual on this planet have equal value. And that is where we need to begin this conversation. That we have had millennials, we have had 2,000 years where men were the dominant species, but not because they were better, not because they were in a position of having better ideas. No, just because earlier days, it was a natural given that the women would take care of the family they gave birth. We're biologically wired to building a nest, to take care of the home, to take care of the children. We're biologically wired to sense our children's need. But then as society developed, we have developed a world where it becomes not only possible for women to study and work equally as men, but we're also needed as women if we need to keep up with the innovation, keep up with how the way the destiny of our world is moving right now. So from an evolutionary standpoint, we cannot leave out women any longer, because we come with a more caring perspective. We come with assuring that there's a greater well-being. We come with an assurance of looking at practices that will take care of everybody. We are not here to fight. We're here to protect. We're here to nurture. We're here to make sure that we're in a sustainable direction. This is not excluding that men can have those qualities as well. And I am assuring you, exhausted women can act the exact same way as exhausted men. They're closing down their hearts. They are only looking at short-term perspectives. They're only starting to look at bottom line, and they're behaving maybe even worse than men, because we have that incredible energy. We have that incredible power within, that intuitive sense, that energetic power that we have been burned on stakes for only 400 years ago. And when that is applied, when we're exhausted, it comes out in less caring and healing ways. And so we see women leaders behaving just as bad as men. So, and I need to say this from a very caring standpoint, because men are not behaving in a bad way, women are not behaving in a bad way unless we're exhausted. Unless we have suffered from trauma in our childhood or younger years. And that's where the neglections come from in leadership. That's when we do not look at ourselves and get to know our triggers, get to know why we behave in a certain way. And when we think that best practice is being busy, being stressed, working 24/7, that's an illusion. That is not best practice. Best practice is what works the best. And it does not work when we have to think of long-term practices. And that's where we all have to go inside of ourselves, everybody, women and men, to tune into that place of greater well-being. And then starting to look at new ideas that will create a ripple effect into our environment with greater well-being. And then start tapping into innovative processes that will create, whether it's products or ideas or new ways, that will create exceptional results whilst making a positive difference in the world. Because I don't believe that in decades from now we'll look back at this moment in time without shaking our heads and said, how could we allow visions, strategies, projects that did not save or enhance or in any way create and act for life? And this is again where women come in at play, because we have an exceptional insight. I'm known as the New World Oracle. And with that title, I would have been burned at the stake for 400 years ago, because of my exceptional skill to tune in with clarity what is truly needed in leadership, what is truly needed in this world. And I can look into any question, whether it is innovation, whether it is hiring, firing, whether it is vision, strategies, tactics, operations, looking into an individual life, what will enhance, empower, and bring out the best for the individual and for the entire stakeholder chain. With this insight and being a woman, I'm still being aware of how certain people talk about my skill. And if we talk about quantum physics, it is already explained by science what that capacity is. It's not spooky action that Einstein called it more than 100 years ago. It's quantum entanglement. I have the special capacity to tap into the grid, the energetic grid that we are co-creating with our thoughts and our choices and our actions. I'm able to tune in beyond time and space. So yes, I can tune in either to the past, to the present, or the future, and tap in to this multidimensional way of looking at new best practices. But it's not witchcraft, the way that we were burned on the stakes for. It's an intuitive capacity. I've trained it for more than 30 years. And I've had it with me as a child, probably before birth, like any other person with their unique skill on this planet. But because I'm a woman, it's still seen as, by some people, as something I would have been burned on the stake for 400 years ago. I've also studied. I have a bachelor degree in international negotiation. I have professional bachelor in international business. I have a master's degree in international marketing and management. I have MBA electives in ethics and sustainability, global leadership and global entrepreneurship. And I have trained this evidence-based way of looking at information beyond time and space, beyond what meets the human eye, yet collecting everything that I am and everything that I know, tuning into that energetic grid, into the divine, the divinity of what we're all connected to. We're able to tap into greatness beyond our wildest dreams. Some can do it through their religion, some can do it in meditation, some can do it as a technique. And that's how I developed energetic leadership more than 15 years ago. Wrote a book about it 10 years ago, about the results that are created once we are aware of that energy. And that's important to talk about today on International Women's Day, because with the awareness that we get once we tune in and tap into that energetic field, we also feel and know that we are one world, one soul. So we cannot allow ourselves the suffering that are put upon certain women in this world, because some people think they are not worthy of shining their light and living a happy and a free life. And in the part of the world where women are supposed to be more free, we at least have to let go of putting each other down and uplifting one another. And those of you who feel truly free, you have a big responsibility to think, choose, and act so that you uplift all the women around you. And men who truly understand this message, you know your role too, that you're here to support and assist and uplift. I personally thank the men that I've met throughout my life that have supported who I am, who have supported my business, who have supported me as a person, who has defended me in public, behind the scenes. And I truly thank the women who are in my life and have been in my life, who have supported me to shine my life fully, to become who I am today. And it's such a great pleasure, and it's with such a gratitude in my heart that I'm speaking to you today, Because I want all of you, men and women, to understand the power you have, the significance you have to change the lives of millions of women, billions of women who need your support. And I don't know a woman who does not give tenfold back when she is supported, when she's valued, when she's listened to. So it's even a win-win situation. No man can support a woman without feeling the gratitude from her heart. And I will extend my grateful energies to any man who is supporting a woman or a group of women or speaking up for women throughout the world. Because we need all of you. We need all 8 billion people to be shining your light, to be free, to feel safe, and to be able to serve, which we all feel valuable when we serve, and being allowed to serve and be allowed to shine our life and be allowed to be living in joy and a prosperous life. So let's make this day about all of us, 8 billion people, living a joyous life, a prosperous life in peace, in harmony, and being able to truly shine and be everything that we have the capacity to be here for. And each and one of us take the responsibility, knowing that who we are, from where we are, we can always think, choose, and act a bit differently to truly support and uplift everybody. And know that what we think, choose, and act today will make a greater difference for somebody tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for listening in. Thank you.